Donald Trump is arriving here, well, quite soon now for his 2-day state visit. He's going to bring, as always, a plane load of aides and also diplomats, advisors. He's also going to be bringing along some high-powered tech bosses, including the world's most valuable company, NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA is going to be spotlighting several British startups to show how British and American collaboration is driving innovation in artificial intelligence. And one of those companies is Basecamp Research, which has set itself a challenge of digitising nature to advance medical research. Oliver Vince is the co-founder and is here with me in the studio. Oliver, welcome to you.
Thank you for having me.
Really good to have you here. Oliver, if I say that my expertise in the interface between artificial intelligence and biochemistry is limited, that is the understatement of the year. Okay, so tell me a bit about your work.
Very happy to. I mean, and thank you for having me in. The simple idea is that rather than teaching an AI model to speak English or Japanese or French, you teach it to speak DNA. DNA is the language that underpins all life forms. And if you can understand DNA, you can in principle understand many diseases, and you can use artificial intelligence to generate medicines that respond to those diseases.
Okay, it took you about 4 seconds to lose me completely. When you talk about understanding, reading, comprehending DNA, what does that actually mean?
So there are every living life form runs on the same code, the same 4-letter code, and it is just billions of letters long to run a human, to run a banana, to run a microbe, to run all these different organisms. They all run on the same code. The basic idea behind AI and biology is if you can use computers to understand that code, you can write biology in the same way you can write a computer program, and therefore you can generate things at the push of a button.
Right. It's the basic idea that the building block of all life is this DNA molecule. Most of them have a great deal in common. Some of them have minute variations, and in those variations, well, that explains the massive variety of life on this planet. And your AI system can understand all of that and just join dots at the moment, which are not joined just at the moment.
So our USP has been the collection of new DNA samples from all over the world. So it's a little known fact, but far, far, far more than 99% of biodiversity on our planet, genetic biodiversity, remains completely unknown. So the vast majority of life forms, we have no idea that they even exist, let alone what they do. We have gone out and we have partnerships in 27 countries, more than 150 locations. This is hot springs, volcanoes, the bottom of the sea. Yes. And we go out and we look for this weird new DNA. Yes. And we teach it to the computer.
Yeah. So look, again, to layman me, when you say we have no notion of 99% of life forms on this country, you're talking about at a microbial level, presumably not walking.
No, we know exactly who most of the humans are, right?
And animals and plants.
But I think it's worth pinpointing why we care about understanding genetic difference. Yes. Genetic difference is generally what causes disease, or one of the big causes of disease is genetic difference. Yeah. And so to move towards potentially curative treatments for things like cancer, for things like genetic diseases, we need to basically understand DNA at a massive scale and generate medicines in response.
Okay, well, thank you for that remedial class in the subject. And in search of this information, this data, tell me about this. You've been all over the world, to extremes on this planet, looking for all sorts of interesting stuff we didn't know was even there.
Exactly. So our background, the sort of founding of our company, Basecamp Research, was after running expeditions to remote locations. We ran the first expedition to do fully off-grid DNA sequencing. What that means is we took a sledge across an ice cap for a couple of weeks. We took a portable lab with us, and we were able to discover new bacteria, new microbes that had never previously been seen, and half of them we had no idea what they even did. We knew they existed because they were there, they were physically there, but we had no idea what they were.
So where did you find these samples? Were they clinging to rocks? Were they down the side of volcanoes? Where did you go?
The first ones were in a hot spring on the northern edge of an ice cap. Right. So you've got the mix of all the hot environment, all the cold environment. The bacteria must have evolved to a very, very extreme environment. And that is basically what comes exciting for medicine and for petrochemistry and all these different industries, because what it allows you to do is develop life forms that can have solutions.
Right. Can you give me some idea then of some of the progress that you've made, some advances that might have come out of the research so far? I see that your own PhD is in cancer. cancer drugs. Are we talking about cancer treatments? You tell me.
Yeah, so we're talking about cancer treatments is one of our primary focuses at Basecamp Research. What that means is a patient with cancer is a patient with a problem in their DNA. And what we need to do in a grand sense is modify the immune system, change the body's biology so that it recognizes that cancer and can treat that cancer.
And have you produced drugs that have been shown to be effective or potentially effective at this point?
Potentially effective, yes. We have some in the running right now.
Well, tell me are we getting into the realms of industrial secrets here? Or what? Give me an example.
Well, these are.
What sort of cancer are you finding you're getting?
So initially, it will initially be blood cancers.
Yeah.
In this scenario, but basically, it's the problem with cancer is an umbrella term for disease.
Yes.
Where almost every single person's cancer is different because it's a random change in the DNA, and what you need to be able to do is understand those changes and basically tell the body to fix them. Right. And basically, in very simple terms, we have an AI system that can tell the body which DNA is broken, which DNA is wrong, and go in and fix it.
That's so interesting, Oliver. It makes radiotherapy or chemotherapy sound like a sledgehammer, the crudest possible instrument.
Yeah, so this is a move to what's called immunotherapy, which is modifying the body's immune system to go after cancer. To take a step back very quickly, cancer, everybody has mutations all the time, so your body is continuously dividing and continuously changing. Cancer is only a problem as a disease when your body mutates in a harmful way. What we are interested in is basically teaching the body, hey, look, you missed this one. This one's a real problem. Go after it and go and fix it. Right. And that ultimately is where you get to therapies that are potentially curative.
Right, and in search of these links, you go to the far corners of the earth, to the poles, to equatorial jungles, I presume. Can't you find this stuff, I don't know, in Penge?
We've done quite a lot of stuff in the UK. So we've been to all the zoos, all of the different wacky environments in the UK, but we've also had to go further afield.
Right, and what's next? I mean, I guess, I know you're going to be cautious about imminent breakthroughs and so on, but can you give me something that we can look forward to, some announcement that may be almost ready?
Well, so one of the big things that's linked to this visit is our work with NVIDIA. So Trump is obviously visiting the UK. There is a big spotlight on some of the big tech relationships that are between the UK and the US. We are one of their focuses of NVIDIA and Microsoft's focus in Biotech, where they're essentially interested in scaling these models in the way that they have scaled the previous models for large language. So rather than models that speak speak English, they're interested in speaking DNA because they think that's where the next frontier of medicine is.
Right, now you're British. Britain is looking to crack open this field, for the sake of the British economy and for science in this country and for people like you. Is this happening here? Is it going to be happening here, or do you have to go to, I don't know, California or somewhere?
So our belief is that the UK is the best place in the world for what we call domain AI. So that is AI that is specific to a scientific domain, biology, quantum, fusion, anything like that. We probably are not going to win in the scaling of the hyper models that are being done in the US, but in the domains where the UK has always been a world leader, I think we're going to win.
Oh, I like the optimism. Oliver Vince, pleasure to talk to you from Basecamp Research. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.